What's up everyone? Welcome to a brand new video. As you can tell from the title and as you can see, I went a little crazy. So I have a little list in my notes app and it's basically all the books I want to read or books that I want to get to, books that sparked my interest in some way, whether it came from TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, like whatever the case may be, just books I want to read. And this is a good chunk of that list. I think it's 16 books. Let me count real quick. 16, yes, okay, 16 books. So we're gonna go through them. I have a nice glass of tea. So you guys go grab some tea, go grab some coffee, whatever you like to drink, some water, whatever. And yeah, let's get into it. So the first book I have is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. We're off to a great start. Anyway, yes, The Alchemist. This has been on my list for a super long time. I believe I saw this on TikTok, and if you guys don't know, I'm super big into spirituality, super big into like aligning yourself with your purpose, reaching your higher vibrations, like all of that stuff. And I just heard super great reviews about it. I heard that this is very much like that. It's a lot shorter than I thought it was gonna be, but the novel itself is really beautiful. My next book is Eleanor, Elephant is Completely Fine. I probably butchered that name too. And this one is by Gail Honeyman. Super excited for this one. I'm gonna say I'm super excited for literally all of these books because I just can't wait to read any of these. So to my understanding, actually let me like clear this up real quick. I have a general idea of what these are about, but when I tell you, like, I've been curating this list for like months and months and months now, like I've forgotten some of these. Some of these I bought blindly just because I know they were popular. So some of them I don't really know exactly what they're about. So from my understanding and from what I can remember, it's basically that like Eleanor goes through life kind of alone, kind of like doing her own thing, kind of reserved off a little bit. So I'm pretty sure this book is probably about her like a coming of age type story. Again, I don't really know, but there's a reason why it was on my list and I had exclamation points next to it. So there's a reason why. The next book we have, which I might be the most excited for this book, although I'm probably gonna say that amongst this entire list, Normal People by Sally Rooney. I have heard the best things about this book, like the best things. This was another like exclamation point, like I had to have this. From what I can remember, again, what I can remember, relationship doesn't end perfectly, very real, very like, this could actually happen in someone's life. Something that I hate about books, well, honestly, I feel like books are more realistic, you know, than like movies are. But I'll just say for movies, something I hate about movies is when things happen that wouldn't actually happen in real life. For example, you're in like a heat of the moment, whatever, you're escaping something evil and then like they start kissing. Like that just makes me so mad. I know that happens in Harry Potter, but like it was fine, like they were children. But like, whatever. Those type of things, I'm just like, that actually wouldn't happen in real life. You actually wouldn't stop to go kiss someone in the middle of like war, so whatever. Apparently this book is written very realistically from the lens of like this could actually happen, and it says, oh, it's a Hulu original series. Oh, fun. Okay, so after I read this, maybe I'll watch it. Also, guys, comment down below if you have read any of these books and like what your overall opinions were, but without giving spoilers, please. The next one, we have Cersei by Madeline Miller. And guys, if you've been watching my videos, you would know I read Song of Achilles and I loved it. It took my heart and it jumped on it like 40 times, but it was like in the most beautiful way. Like it was, I loved the book. Like it was, no words. I lost the words. It was just written really beautifully, and I want to read more from Madeline Miller. Also, one of my old teachers from high school suggested this book, so I'm excited to read it. The next one, I'm a little, not iffy, but I guess a little like reserved to this book. It is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr, and I'm only a little reserved about this because from my understanding, it is about like a post-war story, and I'm not really into like historical fiction stories or things of that sort. Like Little Women, chef's kiss, I loved it, but it was very hard for me to get into it. Pride and Prejudice, I couldn't get into it. Like it's literally sitting right there on my floor. Like I can't do it. Okay, so I just read the back real quick, and I don't think it's as like historical fiction as I think it is. I think it's more like story based rather than just like, oh no, like this is when who attacked and whatever. Oh my god, I need to stop. I don't want to spoil anything. This one I know is going to be amazing. It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. The amount of like, you have to read this, you have to read this, you have to read this, that I've seen for this book is like kind of insane. Honestly, all of these books though, but like this one entirely. All I know is that Colleen Hoover writes a lot of very popular love stories and like adult love stories, so I'm really looking forward to reading that. I love a good romance, like I love a good one. I haven't really read any books that have too much of like a romance to it except for like Song of Achilles, and that one that, I'm gonna talk about it like 100 times, but that book literally was like, love exists and I would like to feel it one day. So I want to read more books that make me feel that way. And actually, I think this one has some like serious topics in it. Like it's not just all like lovey-dovey, so we'll see. Excited to read it. Quick break. Still kind of hot. Next we have Red, White, and Royal Blue. Why can't I say this? Red, White, and Royal Blue. There we go. By Casey McQuiston. Excited for this one. Again, like this is like really popular on TikTok. I feel like every single person talks about this. I heard it was a little steamy. It's not as like YA as you would think it would be. It's very much like graphic. Comment down below, is that true? Like obviously it's not gonna be like 50 Shades of Grey type level, but like, you feel me? Let me know down below. Again, this is another love story. I'm a sucker for a good love story. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like they are like government kids or something like that. Basically they're in the politics world and like they're not supposed to be together, and it's like a big problem if they are, but then they end up being together. Cute. I don't know. There's so many good things about this book. There's no way it's not gonna be good. Another one by Colleen Hoover, and this is Maybe Someday. Now this one, the reviews on this one on Barnes & Noble went crazy. I didn't really see this on TikTok, honestly. When I was shopping for the It Ends With Us, when I was looking on Barnes & Noble, this was like the next one next to it. So I just clicked on it. I'm like, let's see what it's all about. The like reviews were crazy on this one. Basically, it's like a love story, but I'm pretty sure, again, this is a spoiler. So if you don't want a spoiler for this book, skip ahead. I'll put this standpoint right here to skip ahead to that. But apparently they like can't end up together in the end or something like that. So it's gonna be kind of like heartbreaking, and like I kind of here for a good heartbreak, so we'll see. But again, another love story. We'll see. I also picked up The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I know this is going to be a good one. Honestly, I just know all of these are going to be good ones. Like way too many people like recommend them for them to be bad, but this book is basically The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and she goes through them, and apparently it's like heartbreaking, but there's also a little bit of mystery in it, but it's also like a love story and just everything in one. One of my favorite YouTubers, Brooke Michio, she read this book a couple months ago and she had great things to say about it. This was on my list with exclamation points, so I'm super excited to read it. Oh my god, it says a spellbinding novel about love, glamour, and the price of fame. Excited. I feel like this book is gonna bring me through the ringer, but I'm here for it. Now this one, I know I just said that one's gonna bring me through the ringer, but like this one is going to bring me through the ringer. History is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. Who read They Both Die at the End? Did you read it? If you read it, let me know. I don't know, just let me know. I read it and I was up like every night just thinking about it, like, oh my gosh, like the concept is so wild, and like to have to be in that mindset of like they are literally both going to die by the end of this book was like, it was like a feeling that I didn't love, but it was a feeling that I was like craving to like get to the end so I could see, I don't know, it's kind of morbid, but Adam Silvera is an amazing author, so I'm really excited to read this book. History is All You Left Me, from my understanding, it is about two boys. They like date the same boy, and then I think the boy passes, I think the boy passes, and then the two like meet up and they're talking about their history with the boy that passed or something. I could totally be telling you the wrong story, but stay up to date. If you subscribe, I will make another video one day telling you guys about all these books and if I loved them, if I hated them. Actually, I think I'm gonna do that. I'll probably do a follow-up, like a part 2, once I finish all of these, and I'll tell you all how I love them. Our next book is Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes, and this is the really only like self-help book that I picked up. I own so many self-help books. Like self-help books used to be my thing, but now I'm really into just like fiction. But Shonda Rhimes, I heard this was an amazing book. I heard this is one of those books that like makes you live, but like not just like live, like survive, like literally go out and like live your life. I think the premise of this is that like she literally takes a year and says yes to every single thing, and then she talks about like the after effects, how it changed her, how it shaped her. I don't know, oh wow, I was gonna say this is gonna be like maybe like a hefty read, but look at the pages. Like the font is big and it's kind of spread out, so this will probably be a quick read, but cute, fun, okay, nice. This next one, this is the first book that was on that list. The first book that I put exclamation points next to, More Than This by Patrick Ness. First of all, the cover took me from the cover. Second of all, I don't remember what it's about, but there's a reason why I loved it. I think it has to do with something of like trying to find more than this. Obviously it's called More Than This, but like something about him trying to find more meaning to life, maybe. I don't know exactly. I just remember that like the review of this and all the things that I saw about it was like super deep. This has been on my list literally since like October of 2020, so I'm excited to finally have it. Now this one's gonna be a little chunky read, but I'm really looking forward to it. Again, the cover just got me for it. Another one by Adam Silvera. Oh, actually 2 authors, Adam Silvera and Becky Albertinelli. Sorry guys, I can't say names. What If It's Us? Another love story. Excited to read this, based in New York City. You know I love that. From what I've gathered from the reviews that I've seen, it's basically like one is a hopeless romantic and one is more of like a realist. One is more like, you know, I gotta live my life. Like I can't just sit around and like wait for this person, or like something along the lines of like they're very different, but like it ends up working, or maybe it doesn't work. I don't know. Another love story. I've already said this, I'm a sucker for love stories. We only have 3 more books left. Crazy. Next one. In 5 Years by Rebecca Serrell. This, I had not seen any reviews on it. It was not on my list. Like I never saw this anywhere. And then I was checking out all these books and I'm pretty sure this was just released like very recently. I could be wrong about this, but I think it was just released. From what I saw from the reviews and from the description, it is basically a girl wakes up and it's 5 years later, like 5 years later from the year she woke up in, and like she sees what her life becomes and she sees what apartment she lives in, what job she has, who she's dating. And I just think that is amazing. But then there's like, I guess she like sees problems in it or flaws or something like that. I think often I think about like my life 5 years from now, or even like 2-3 years from now, and I just thought this would be like a cute book to read. Oh, maybe not. It says heartbreaking, redemptive, and authentic in all the ways possible. Oh, maybe this is gonna be another take my heart, throw it on the ground, jump on it a bunch of times. But I don't know, for some reason I just feel like this book is gonna give me perspective, and I felt drawn to it, and it's a very beautiful cover, so I wanted to get it. The next book I have is Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. Now I know this is like a 10-year anniversary book, like this has been out for the longest time now, but I just haven't read it, but I've heard great things about it. I actually just watched the movie the other day. My best friend Delaney, she said when we were in Hawaii, she was telling me like she watched that movie and it like meant a lot to her, and I was like, oh my god, I want to read the book. So I'm reading the book. I'm sure you guys all know what this is about already. I'll probably read this over the summer, honestly, or maybe like while I'm doing some traveling or something this summer. Ooh, stay tuned. We are on our last book, but I'm going to take another sip. Possibly the one I'm most excited for, but maybe I'm just being dramatic. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRae by V.E. Schwab. If you have read this before or heard anything about this, I'm sure you understand why I'm saying like I'm really excited to read this book. Just the amount of amazing things that I've heard about it. I literally saw a TikTok today that said that she would not be surprised if this is like counted as a classic. From what I could gather, I know I've said it 100 times, but I promise it's the last time. From what I can gather, this book is about a girl who, not she sells her soul, but I think she does something. I don't know if it's with like the devil or if it's like something higher power. She like makes some type of deal, and then it's like how it's affecting her life, and she like goes through and is trying to like, I think it's that like no one remembers her. I think it's, or is that she's blind? I don't think she's blind. I think the blind girl comes in at all the light we see. Anyway, she just makes some sort of deal, and it's like her going through life. But just the amount of times that I've heard amazing things about this book, and again, I just feel drawn to this book. Something about it is like, Maya, you must read it. Like every single TikTok I see, this is either in like the back on a bookcase or like they're talking about it, so I just had to read it. That is all of these books, and I can't believe I bought this many books in one sitting, but I also have no shame and I also have no regrets. So excited to read all of these. Like I really was in a little bit of a reading slump, so I'm really glad that I have all these now. I don't know which one I'm gonna start reading. This is my first booktube. I'm on YouTube right now, not TikTok. This is my first booktube video, so I don't know the point of me saying this, but yeah, that's the end of that. I'm gonna go now because I'm trying to say random things. Subscribe. I'll see you next video. What am I doing?